Hi, guys. Welcome to a new episode of Too Much with Shey
and Becca. Hey, y'all.
How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Welcome to episode 61. Can you believe
I
it?
think 62.
No, I think this is 61. It might be. It is 62. You're right.
Okay.
62. Can you believe that? We've recorded 62 episodes. If you are new here, thank you guys so much for clicking this video and supporting us. We are Too Much with Shey and Becca, and we talk about all the things. We talk about entertainment, news, sports, and also just life things. If you are a recurring viewer, make sure that you hit pause and check if you are subscribed, because I'm not gonna lie, we realize here and we've been on a subscriber
pause.
Exactly. Yes, our subscriber count has not been moving, honey, and we trying to reach 350, please. I mean, really the goal is obviously we want more than 350, but we have realistic goals. So if you would like to subscribe, we would really appreciate it. Shout out to everybody that has commented on our shorts and our little mini clips, all the things. We really do appreciate all the support.
I also just want to say, now, we do try to respond to everybody. At least I try to. If there's certain things that I already know, like, because I said Shay-Rod. Girl, Shayla is the HR of our little duo. Mm-hmm. So if you do get slick out the mouth and you don't get a response, like, Shayla really be saving a lot of y'all because I be ready.
Yeah. But when Rebecca says slick out the mouth, like, we're not against that, right? Like, I feel like we are super opinionated, so we are never like, oh, don't share your opinion. If you believe something, like, stand behind that 10 toes down. But you know, we are trying to create a brand, so we have something to lose. But if you don't got nothing to lose, just say what you want to say. But just beware, we may or may not respond back, which I think is.
And then I always sign my name when I say it, so don't think that it's like Shayla who could. No, it be me, and you could come at me on social media. Just know, be ready.
Exactly that part. So anyways, if you are new here, we usually start off with just a little rundown of our week. So let us know, Rebecca, how was your week?
Oh, wait, we gotta do our little intro.
Oh,
what's happening? Shayla, we haven't been gone that long.
I know.
But I can start because I feel like you started the last two times.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I want to talk about, Shayla and I are very different when it comes to texting etiquette, right? Shayla will faithfully, good morning, good afternoon, yada yada yada. Me? Oh, I'm getting straight to it. There's no flow. Like, I'll text Shayla literally at 7:00 in the morning. I'm like, I might say hey sometimes. Or I might just get straight into it, like, oh, I did this, and this is what needs to be done. Shayla will be like, good morning.
Yes. 1,000%. Because I feel like that is very much necessary. Unless, don't get me wrong, sometimes I do that if I need like immediate reaction, like it's real quick, real whatever. But like if we haven't talked the whole day, no nothing, a cute little good morning or hey seems to be right.
Guys, and you know, I appreciate Shayla for that, because like in my brain, I'm just like, sometimes I just be task. And like, especially when I get very like comfortable with my friends, I'm like, girl, you don't need all the bread and the butter. Like, we don't need all the pleasantries, because you know where my heart is. Like, that's how I be feeling. And I just think it's so funny, because it's just like the contrast be so different. But like I said, that's why she the HR of the group, because
you know, we lift each other up where we lack. So you lift me up and I lift you up. That's how we operate.
Okay, tip for tat. I also wanted to talk about texting etiquette, period, right? It's it's very basura. I think that's how you say it, right? Trash.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And like, in order for a conversation to work, like, especially when there's like, I don't know, there's some type of reciprocation, right? Well, there needs to be a type of reciprocation. If I text you telling you, oh, like you say, oh, good morning, how are you? And I'm like, oh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing good. I'm about to run some errands. I'm about to get ready for work. How about you? This, that, and the third. Like, that's my response, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if I say, how are you? And you're like, I'm chilling, send, and you just send it to me, how do you think the conversation is going to progress from here? Like,
No, I 1,000% agree, because at that point is like, for me, I feel like you don't want to continue the conversation. And then I've been in situations like that, and I'm gonna speak like for men. I know I'm not a man, but it's like they think like, oh, of course, like we should just say what we want to say. You know what I mean? Like, oh, just because they didn't ask doesn't mean that they don't care. And it's like, well, no, that's actually how I perceive it. If you don't ask me, how about you? I'm not just about to tell you anything because you ain't asked me.
exactly. I just feel like there needs to be some type of reciprocation. I feel like when you're having a conversation, it's like what you
Mhm.
give and what you get. If you give me nothing, you will get nothing. So it's just like, if I don't get that type of reciprocation, that what are we really talking about? And then they'd be like, oh, well, you ghosted me. You never asked me a question. Like,
Right. Like, I mean, you finished the conversation, so okay, that's it. That's all.
like you chilling. Cool. You gonna keep chilling. Like the conversation on ice. Thank you. Like that's it. Like
Mhm.
I just uh, especially like I don't know how you feel about this, but I feel like a reaction is not a response. Like in terms
Like an
of
like if you like a message and stuff like that.
yes, like if me and you are actively having a conversation and then you just sit there and you heart my message, mind you, the conversation technically isn't over. It's just like, okay, you liked it. Conversation over to me now. Like there's no response. And they be like, oh, why didn't you respond back? You never responded. I like
Yeah.
the message.
I,
That's
I
not
think the only way that it is a response is if I'm like, if we want to end the conversation, like, oh, okay, got it. And then I heart it. That's it. And
like if I
I'm done.
text Shayla and be like, hey, like, are you good with this? And you like my message, cool. That's the response I need. If
Right.
like, if it's engaging, like if it's actually like just a response to my question,
Hmm.
cool, calm, collected. Like the conversation didn't need to progress. But if you
Right.
are actively trying to speak to me and then you heart or like my message and there's no other response, there's nothing for us to talk about left. Like there's literally nothing left to talk about. And the last thing I'm gonna mention, Shayla said that I should mention this in the podcast. So I recently got a message, and I just think it is so funny sometimes how guys try to talk to me because it just be like, what possessed you to say that? Right. So this guy was basically just like, hey, love. And he's like, you mad pretty. You look like you taste good. I would slop you up like a Capri Sun. Right. And I laughed because first,
First of all, I'll give you A for descriptive writing. You ate that right on up. I got the image, but it's like if you are trying to, like make me like you think that's the way to go about it?
and then I laughed because Shayla and I just talked about this a little before we started recording. I'm like, especially as a kid, the way I used to suck the juice out of a Caprice.
Baby, I kind of helped initiate the recycling. Okay, I squeezed that to the brim, especially if strawberry kiwi.
Oh,
Stop playing with me, girl. Squeeze
like,
all the juice, air, all of it. So that's why it's so funny because, like, I could envision that. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I look like that. You want to squeeze me up?
like that. I look that good. Wow. I
But
was like,
in the
honestly,
same breath, it's like you don't even know me, sir. Like if it's just like I don't even know.
like, and I was just dying of laughter because I'm like, yo, like the way I sucked the juice out that Capri Sun, I brought it back to manufacturing size. Like that's
Mhm.
how good it used to be. And so because of that, because I laughed, usually I don't respond to messages like that. But because I laughed, I ended up responding. I was like, a Capri Sun is a very descriptive comparison. And so his response was, yeah, I just had to think of something with so much detail, something that I know I would enjoy drinking. And I was just like, I just don't think you're not going to get another response from me because like,
Yeah,
I just had to give you that one response, but you made me laugh. I had a little giggle. Like that was good.
that was definitely funny. Cause
But
it's
that's
like
it for me,
what?
girl. That's it for me. Also, I broke my nail, but it's okay. It's like I went to the bathroom to go wash my hands. as soon as, like, sometimes I like to, because I got my nails, I like to on the door, like, and so when I went to go put my hand into the water, my nail is gone. Like, this is broken in half.
I
And,
feel like this has been a recent pattern, though. Your
well,
nails been breaking more often,
the last time was because my nail underneath was actually like cracked, not even on
right?
the skin. This one, I don't even understand what happened, but that means it's time for a new set. No feelings, right? But
Mhm.
when I went to go, I looked at my nail. I said, hold up. My nail was definitely here just 3 seconds ago. Girl, I looked, my nail is by the door. When I went like, I heard
Not
it.
by the door,
Girl, I
honey.
was sick, but it's okay. I got a nail appointment on Wednesday. Also, let me know in the comments a color y'all think, because honestly, I don't have no ideas because I've been really thinking about my Christmas set. So I'm not really this one.
Oh, are you gonna skip the Thanksgiving set?
Girl, I have never done a Thanksgiving set.
Okay. Good to know.
I don't do Halloween or Thanksgiving sets. Like, those aren't like the.
But I just feel like there's so much time left. But like, are you planning to do 2 Christmas sets then?
Well,
Because I don't think this one is gonna last
no, so
2.
my plan to do is like, because I already have an idea, like, I think usually sometimes with Christmas nails, I try
Mhm.
not to do them too late into the season because I don't want to go into the new year with a Christmas set. So
Um,
after this set, my nails
mhm.
usually take about 3 weeks before they really start giving like, I need help.
Right.
So like, I already have it planned out in my calendar. So if I'm gonna get my nails done on Wednesday. By the time I need my nails done again, it's gonna be December 10th. And so then by December 25th, I'll be over that nail set. So I'm gonna get my nails done the week of that Christmas. So I can get, well, not like after Christmas. So then I could get my New Year's set, because I love doing a clock on my nails for New Year's. So it's just like, I got it planned out, girl.
We love that for you.
Oh, if y'all have any ideas, like nail design ideas or anything like that, definitely let me know. This is the current set. If you can see, you can see. If you can't, I'm sorry. But yeah, I don't really follow color of the seasons that well. Like, I'll do a bright blue in the middle of like the winter. Like, I don't really care about that. So if you have some ideas, definitely let me know.
Period. Let my good sister know. For me, my week was good. Commuting to work, coming back home, hitting the gym. If you're like an OG viewer, you know how I was like, I can never work out after work. But girl, here we are working out after work. Cause I feel like as humans, at least for me, we can adapt to anything, right? Like I'm very much a creature of habit. And so I've been trying to work on breaking the habit of wanting to go to the gym in the morning because nobody's waking up at 4 a.m. I mean, I know people do it, but I'm not doing it. I tried that and it's just like, I
I
did
remember
it when I had to go to work.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say, I remember when I tried to tell you, you was trying, no, I'm not gonna do that.
I
Da-da-da, rah,
know.
rah, 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 rah. And now look at you, stuck in
I
the
know.
gym.
I'm rah-rah-rahing to the gym after work. I mean, but I will be honest, it's not easy. I'm not like, because mind you, I'm like, I've already worked a whole 8-hour shift in the New York, then commuting back, and then I'm like tired, but I'm just like, we gotta do it. We have to go. And so I get it done. And I'm proud and I'm happy that I'm doing it. And I'm sure it's gonna get easier as we go. Also, Thanksgiving is coming up. So my mom has been like reaching out to like, we gotta get you. Honestly, I feel like for Thanksgiving, you gotta start your food shopping now, because it's like if you wait last minute, honey, you may not find no food. And that, like, the grocery stores are gonna be packed to the brim.
Yeah.
So this weekend is the shopping for Thanksgiving type of stuff. And also, like, I don't know if everyone is like this, but we like to season our stuff like a day in advance, a day or two, because
Girl.
that's how you really get the flavor. If you've never cooked a day in your life, let me put you on. The longer you let things season, the better they will taste. Trust.
No, honestly, like my family, I don't like turkey from everybody. I only
Mhm.
like the turkey from my parents or my grandma. Like, I don't really like turkey from just everybody because
Mhm.
it really is dry. It is a dry turkey, but the way that my family makes it, succulent. When I tell you, be fall off
Right.
the bone, right? Like, we start marinating the turkey 4 days in advance. Like, when I say 4 days in advance of marination, it be truly just sitting there.
Marination, is that a word? It
I
sounds good.
It sounds real good. But I think to your point for Thanksgiving this year, like Shayla will tell you, Thanksgiving is really Rebecca's like day because I be cooking
The
from
chef in
like
the house.
okay, from the start of Monday till Thursday, I am marinating and cooking. Like that's literally it. And this year we're not doing anything big. Like usually like a whole bunch of my cousins and aunts and uncles come and I'm like making 3 platters of basically everything. But this year we're not doing that. It's just gonna be me and my parents and my sister. So I'm just like my 2 cousins might pop up, but we're not planning nothing extravagant. So I just like, my portion sizes now are going to be a lot smaller. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because I'm like, baby, my knees be hurting. And I usually always have off on Black Friday, but baby, that don't even help. I be in the bed like this.
LOL. That's funny. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I mean, I love to go grocery shopping. I feel like grocery shopping is fun to me, but I'm like, that's a sign of me being old.
I like grocery shopping too, but I just don't like putting the groceries away.
Oh, that's how I feel about washing clothes. I'll wash clothes, but to put it back, it's like,
that is like the perfect question real quick. I know this is your weekly rundown, but I had this conversation with Deanna when I was in Texas. And I said to her, I was like, I hate doing laundry so much. I would rather wash dishes
1,000%.
than do laundry.
1,000%.
But
the thing for me is like, I've never had a washing machine in my house. So I'm like, if I had a washing machine in my house, I would feel differently because I could like, I could just go wash clothes while I'm doing other things. But for me, I gotta separate my clothes, do all the things. I gotta take it downstairs. I gotta drive to the place. I gotta sometimes, depending on the day, you fighting for a washing machine, and it's just like. And then after you wash it, I'm not like I like to fold my clothes. I'm not just gonna put them all shoved down. No. I need to like fold. So then I fold all my clothes. Then I gotta come here. And also, Rebecca knows I live on a 3rd floor, so I gotta go up the stairs in my it's just like very much ghetto. I don't want to do it. And so, of course, I will wash dishes any day.
Oh, really? Especially because Shayla and I were very Caribbean in this aspect. Yeah. We don't do dishwashers. Like, no. I've never used a dishwasher in my life. And every time I tell people that, they look at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, It's not like my parents always told me they did not believe in dishwashers. Like we've had dishwashers.
We use it as storage.
Okay, it's storage after I wash the dishes.
And honestly, I was so perplexed that I had to ask people that actively use dishwashers. And they say it's like, it saves time, but also like it's good for the environment and water and all the things. Because I will say you do waste more water when you are washing dishes, but it's just that's how I was raised. And until I'm like in California and they're like put a drought or some sort of fine if you use too much water, I'm going to be hand washing my dishes.
Girl, California was just such a random message.
No, because they have like I remember like I forgot specifically a celebrity, but like they were getting fined because they were not like following the rules of like water consumption or something like that. I don't know. Anyways, this has been the longest weekly rundown ever. But now let's get into the news topics. As I mentioned on the top of the show, we talk about several things. So if you don't care about news, feel free to fast forward and go to the topics that you prefer, whether that's all the social trending topics or sports. But the biggest news story of this week is the fact that, ladies and gentlemen, the government shutdown is over. Who would have thought, honey? Okay. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history has ended after 43 days. Yes, 43. With a handful of Democrats crossing party lines to pass the short-term funding plan. The measure funds most of the government through January 30th, 2026, and covers key social services through September 30th, 2026. One major sticking point for Democrats, right, as we've expressed in previous episodes, was the reason why they weren't voting for the funding bill is because they wanted an extension of the health insurance subsidies under the Affordable Care Act. And guess what? They did not. That wasn't something that is a part of this short-term funding plan. So all of those 43 days that they spent fighting for the healthcare, they still ain't get the healthcare. So some people see that as like, what was the reason? Like, why you waited 42 days to then fold anyways? But anyways, let me continue my little summary. So the subsidies under the Affordable Care Act did not go through and will now face another fight. Federal workers are expected to return to work immediately, and many will begin receiving back pay soon. With temporary funding in place and a deadline still ahead, the relief is temporary but real. So, several things here. I am happy that the government shutdown is over, because as we were expressing, like the consequences were increasing and more people were being affected, right? Like from day one, the federal employees were being hit the most, right? Because some of them were furloughed or they like stopped working, their paychecks didn't start hitting, and then it was increasing to like people didn't get their food stamps right at the start of November. The flights in several major airports were, decreasing, delayed, canceled flights, all the things. So yes, something had to come to they had to come to terms with something, right? Because it was like too many people are being affected by it now, and it's like, y'all can't keep playing with us, right? But then it's like, this is only temporary, right? The funding bill is only good until like January and up until September in terms of like for the social services, like the food stamps and the WIC and all those things. And I'm like, my thing is, do you think it was worth it? Like in terms of like the Democrats, right? Because on both sides, Republicans were like, this was a Democrat led government shutdown. And then the Democrats are like, oh no, like the Republicans are the reason why we are in this government shutdown. And then fast forward, and it's like the Democrats didn't get what they wanted from the get. So it's like, what, y'all should have just voted on day one and kind of like,
my whole thing is, right, I'm very much the type of person who's like, I like to show people or let people learn their lesson by experience, right? So I get it. Democrats are saying, oh, this is why we did it. We were holding our ground because we want to make sure that things are better for you, for the people that are going to be impacted. And I get that. But we also have to acknowledge that a lot of people who do fall in under that umbrella of impact are also some of the people who voted for Trump. So it's just like, I get what the bill was saying, and I get that a lot of people are going to be impacted. I get a lot of people are going to, when it comes to the subsidies, like their insurance rates are going to go up. Some people might lose it. Like I get that. But if all these Democrats keep saying that Trump is bad for this, Trump is bad for America, let people learn through experience, honestly. And I get that, like the shutdown impacted so many people, and like y'all were trying to stand firm and this, that, and the third. But what was the reason? Because y'all didn't even get what y'all said y'all wanted to do.
And that's really the thing where I kind of like, it's a double-edged sword, right? Because it's like when you vote people into positions, you're not there to like, or you put them there because you want them to fight for you, right? Or, politics is messy. You vote for someone, they claim they're going to do something, and then once they're in office, they may or may not do it, type thing. Right. So it's like, I see my people are hurting, right? So let me just get them this relief, right? Like I could fight, but only for so long, right? Like now I'm getting my constituents calling, and it's like, listen, I need my food stamps. I need this. I need that. Like the first 2 weeks is kind of like, oh yeah, like I'm good, right? I still got a little savings I could depend on. But now we hitting day 40, and it's like, yeah, actually cut all of that out. I need my funds today. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I don't know what the proper solution for this is, but I think a lot of times, oftentimes, Republicans always get away with whatever they want to do day in and day out. Like if they don't care who's suffering. If they said they don't want to do this, they don't want to do that, baby, they will stand their ground and they will not do it. They will not pass it. They will not, none of that. And I think oftentimes Democrats don't follow that same energy. And I know, it could be hard because the Democrats are seen as like, they care more for the people. Well, depending who you talk to, it varies, of course. But like, it's just very hard, but I'm just glad that the government shutdown is over. They did agree on a short-term funding bill, but just know that as soon as we hit January, we're going to be having this conversation again and again and again. And it's just like, please get it together. But I'm happy that people will get their money.
And I saw a lot of people, like I've seen this argument, debate, whatever you want to call it, that, these subsidies were never supposed to be something that were long term. It was like mainly put in place after COVID. And like, I get that, but I feel like a lot of people benefited in certain ways. So it's just like, I feel like if we could have found a way to, make that so something could have been long term, not the whole everything that fell underneath the subsidies, but at least like a little bit of something that would have been nicer for certain people that I know who have benefited in that way. But again, we learned through example.
Yeah. And also, like, health insurance in America is so expensive. Like, we had open enrollment at my job for like next year. And like, there's so many things that go with health insurance that literally I did not understand. Like HSA and FSA, and why you could put this and open this account and you got to pay $90 a month, but then you got the copay, and then this insurance lets you go to this like, why is health insurance so complicated in America? Like, and this is coming from someone, right, that like, we are college educated, right? We understand English. We have all of these things that are supposed to, make it seem like, of course we understand these things. But if I don't understand it, I can't even imagine like just the regular person that, maybe doesn't have a college education, maybe doesn't understand the language. Like when I had NJ Family Care, honey, it was like they had everything figured out. But when you got to like, now I'm paying for my health insurance, and no shade, it feels like it's worse. It doesn't cover anything. I got to pay an arm and a leg. Like I had selected when I first got my job a health insurance, right? And I thought, oh, this is like the best option for me. And then I called to make like an eye doctor appointment because my contacts are running out. And you guys know I was unemployed, all the things. And when I called, I told them like, oh, I changed my insurance. So she had to check if this new doctor accepted my health insurance. And she was like, oh yeah, we accept it. We just have to pay like $100. I'm like, $100? I'm gonna have to call you back, girl. Mind you, this is on top of me already paying for my health insurance just to get an appointment, $100. And then probably if they do any special testing, which they will, because I'm like, my eyes are not the best, more money. And it's like, I don't understand it. And it's like, America needs to do better when it has to do with health insurance, because it's ghetto. I hate it. And everything is so complicated. Like, why is it so complicated? Just give me a health insurance and let me go to whatever doctor I want to go to. If I'm paying.
Yeah. I think for me also what's annoying, because like my job just started open enrollment too. And one of the things, like I was looking, like they were showing me all these different life insurance policies. I'm like,
girl,
what? I'm like, and I get it. It's important to have, especially because like, in America, you never know.
Girl, not even in America, in life.
Period. Life, period. Like you never know what could happen.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, yo, all these different, like they put all, I'm like, y'all got me scared to live.
Girl, it's a struggle out here.
Then they talk about who's your primary beneficiary, your secondary, your third. I said, oh, y'all just plotting on me. And but then and like I've been going to like the doctors a lot, right? So like I'm not saying a lot. There's nothing wrong with me. Relax, y'all. My doctor likes to do a lot of follow-ups.
No, you've been prioritizing your health because you had it for many years.
Exactly. So like, there's a lot of things that like, not a lot of things, but there's certain things that like me and my doctor are keeping track of and stuff like that. So every time I go, girl, my copay goes up. And so like when I was looking at this new insurance, like through my job and everything, they were talking about the copay just went up by like $5. And I'm like, yes, I got it. But like, what if I had like a really strict budget? Like, and that extra $5 is going to tip me over. Like I had no choice. Like I have no choice.
Right.
I got to see the doctor. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, bro, America, y'all know how to give me a migraine. I can't
have a problem. Like literally every sector of life, like health insurance is just, I don't. It gives me a headache just thinking about it, child. I'm just like,
Yeah.
every time I pick a new one, and I hope this is gonna be the best one, because there's so many other stuff you got to pay for. It's ghetto. But let's move on to funner topics in our social corner.
Yes, y'all. So welcome to our social corner. If you are new here, then this is where we talk about some of the things that we see trending on social media, conversations that people are having on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, if you like to call it X, you can call it that too. On all the different social platforms where we're going to talk about some of the things that we've been seeing that are trending that we want to give our takes on. If you are reoccurring, let's get into it, baby. Okay. So the first thing we're going to talk about is Vine is being rebooted under the name Divine. Okay, Divine.
I like Divine. Girl, you on Divine?
I'll be like, Divine? Yeah, period.
That's a cute little name.
With funding from Twitter's former CEO, Jack Dorsey. So the app plans to feature more than 10,000 previously archived vines and does not allow AI generated content. So I just want to show y'all what it looks like really quickly. So this was the announcement that they had basically put on X or Twitter, like we like to call it. And I'm a little excited because Shayla and I just did a video talking about AI, how AI is taking over for the 199. Okay.
For the 199, what do these numbers mean?
I mean, I think it's like what's the song, taking over for the 999, but I said 199 just saying things anyway. So when I had saw that they had announced this, like I was like, oh my God, like I remember being on Vine in high school. Like this is real throwback. Like Shayla, we showing our age for real.
I mean, that's young. It's like Vine,
Musically,
Vine walked, so Musically and TikTok could run. And the thing that I find most interesting is like the fact that it's Twitter's old CEO, the one that's gonna run this or launch Divine, because a lot of us have said how we miss old Twitter, right? Like once Elon Musk took over, I mean, I'm still on it, I can't even lie, but it's just more so because I'm just a creature of habit and I just like it. Once you got your little people that you follow, keep you updated, like
that's me in Threads.
It is what it is. Exactly. I tried Threads. I went in there for like one little thing, but then I immediately exited out. But it's just because I haven't built my community, right? Like that's the thing about social media. Even with TikTok, when I first got on it, I'm like, girl, why do people be on TikTok? But once you get your algorithm and like you get your social bubble as you like it, then it's up and popping. So I'm excited for it. I think the non-AI aspect of it, will it actually last that long? Who knows, right? Because as AI grows, people change their minds, right? But I think that would be an incentive for a lot of creators to go over to Divine, right? Because they feel like my content will be prioritized. I'll see more original content, and my people are more like, will he be able to duplicate it? I don't know. The same way I feel about like sequels and prequels of things, or like, maybe that's not the right word, but like when people try to remake things, they usually don't hit the same. But I am rooting for it. I remember like there was a lot of good comedians that popped out of Vine, like Liza Koshy, I Am Zoe. Like there were so many funny people with that like quick, just random moments that went viral. So I am excited to see it, and I hope that it does work out.
Yeah, I think also it was just like very creative because I think from what I remember, I think you had like 6 or 8 seconds,
real short,
to make it real funny. And like to this day, I quote like Charlie bit my finger, like like to this day. So like I think it's gonna be very interesting to see all the old people who used to be on Vine coming back, seeing the content and everything like that. Shayla and I might create a too much account for Vine, well Divine. So we might do a little something, might little pop out a little bit, but I think this is like, it's very interesting to see. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my God, I'm so excited, because like it's just another social media app. Yes, it's making a comeback, but I think I want to
be the same.
Exactly. I want to see kind of like what it is, and the fact that they said they're gonna feature more than 10,000 previously archived vines. I'm like, this is why I be telling y'all, they be really keeping our information. They just
1,000%. People be like, oh, once you delete it, it's deleted. Baby, it's not deleted. It's on a hard drive that's like hard to find, but they could definitely get that back. That's why they say everything you post, just know that is going into someone's server.
And it could
Delete
come
is
back.
an illusion. It's not really deleted once you put that up there in the cloud.
Yes, and it could come back. And we're going to talk about somebody a little later in the show where it came back to bite them in the behind. Okay.
Okay. So for the next thing is, the next social topic is people have been going crazy over a Starbucks Bear Cup this week. Okay. Meanwhile, the Starbucks employees are planning to go on strike. So it's just like America, honey. You can't make this up. So this week, Starbucks fans went crazy for Starbucks Barista Cold Cup. The cup is shaped like a bear and has a green little fit with a little green straw, real like aesthetically pleasing for the Starbucks lovers. And people literally camped out in order to get one. Mind you, it's not free. You are paying to buy this little bear cup. Many enthusiasts were left empty-handed and disappointed as the bear cups did in fact sold out instantly across stores. And literally it got to the point that like some of these people were like, oh, why would you let the employees buy it before us? They was real mad about it. I'm like, why are y'all so pressed over a little bear, honey?
Literally. But let us play the video for y'all so y'all get an idea of what it looks like.
So if you are an avid food shopper, you know that bear cup look exactly like the honey you get at Costco. So if y'all so pressed, honey, you could really get that for a 2-for-1 special. If you get you some honey, you clear it out and you DIY your bear cup. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about it because it's just like the two tail ends of the story, right? Like you have people that are camping out to buy this Starbucks bear. Meanwhile, there are Starbucks employees, right? Unionized Starbucks employees across several stores that are planning to strike because they are fighting for better wages and better staffing. And it's like, imagine you are out here, you're a Starbucks employee and you are struggling to pay your bills, and you got this person in your ear talking about why the bear sold out.
See, my whole thing is like when I saw this, like I didn't know about the cup until I saw somebody posted about it on Threads, and they were like, the fact that I can't get my hands on a Starbucks bear cup anywhere is really blowing mine. And I'm like, what are y'all talking about? So then
you are blowing mine.
So I went to look it up and I was just like, oh, okay. And then like I also saw like reports about them going on strike. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I could be a part of the problem because I'm like, Starbucks people are always on strike. Like I think like for me, like when I think Starbucks, I think strike. Like I always hear that they are on strike. And it's like, to your point, it's like some people over here complaining and crying about a cup. And some people are crying about, I need better wages. And like I saw some comments of people be like, who had the same thought as me, and they're like, I feel like Starbucks employees are always on strike, but then some of them went and took it a step further. And it was just like, y'all always on strike, like just stop working there. And I'm like, how are y'all mad that mind you, it be working class people who be making these ignorant comments?
That's very ignorant.
But it's just like, y'all mad that other people are trying to fight for better wages? Like I'm lost. Like,
and also I feel like sometimes people are very like naive to the idea. Like the reason why the minimum wage is what it is because there were people that fought to make it. Depending where you live is different. I feel like because we're in the like New Jersey, New York, our minimum wage is probably higher than most people that live in like smaller states. But like I remember a time growing up where my mom was getting paid 7 something an hour. That was the minimum wage. So it's like, if it weren't for people striking and fighting to push the government to, for higher minimum wage, we wouldn't be. I think now it's probably like what, 18, 20, I don't know, something around that.
15. I
mean, maybe it's 15.
No shade, no tea. I haven't been paid minimum wage in a while. So
we're so grateful to God because we did, we did go to college and we worked to be here. But it's like, yeah, I think it is. Like, yes, I know it. Not that it's funny, but like, yes, a lot of times Starbucks strikes, all the things. But it's like, I think now more than ever, it is important for people to fight for their rights, because maybe the living in America is not cheap. And if you are busting your behind, especially to be dealing with these people that want to come argue with me about a bear cup, yes, I need to be paid more.
No, honestly. And I think also it's important to note, like, even the people who, like, Shayla and I fall in that category, thank God, thank the heavens. But like the people who don't get paid minimum wage, we still struggling. So
Well,
imagine,
exactly.
just imagine that you were getting paid lower than what you need to try and survive.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I'm all for people working for and speaking out to get better things. Cause it's like, girl, don't talk to me about no bear cut. Like, get out of my face. No shade.
Like, what are we talking about for real? Like, please, please. Also, I just feel like the cup don't even look that big for real. And it's just like, for me, listen, I mean, call me what you want, call me what you will. I'm a little greedy. If I'm going to pay dang near $8 for a drink, I need that cup for real. I don't like ice. Pour me my liquid. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the cup, it looked like it's like this size. Like, it looked like this for real.
Yeah, it's a no for me. But comment down below if you were able to get this little exclusive beer cup. We're happy for you and we hope you enjoy it.
I guess. Right. What she said. So the next thing we want to talk about is Apple. So Apple introduces a digital ID, a new way to create and present an ID in your Apple Wallet. So the digital ID offers a secure and private way for users to create an ID in their Apple Wallet using information from their US passport and present their ID with iPhone or Apple Watch, right? This is basically what it would look like. So like, when you already have like your card, or if you are an Apple user and you do have an Apple Wallet, it pops up like your card, just
You
double
double tap and then boom.
Yeah.
So when I first read this, I was just more so like, people already lack responsibilities. I was telling Rebecca when we were growing up, it was like, as part of your school curriculum, you had to memorize somebody's phone number, right? Like a parental figure, you had to memorize that. There were certain numbers, your address, all those things you had to know. And now I feel like people don't know nobody's phone numbers. We depend so much on our phones. And it's like, there's certain things that I think we should just keep off a device and just have the physical. Let us keep a little bit of responsibility. No, bring your passport, your real physical passport. No, bring your actual license. It's like, at the end of the day, I know if the government wants to get my information, they are going to get it. I understand that hands down. But I just think as a society, we are depending way too much on technology. Like, girl, just get your passport.
And I don't think like if you do add this, like this is gonna be a substitution, like when you go to the airport, because the airport, it's like Fort Knox in there, girl. They need everything.
So then why would you even put it there then if you can't use it?
I don't know. And I think for me, I think it could work if you go to like a bar or something like that and you want to show them, like, I guess. But like, I think for me, to your point, I feel like we as a society every day think that technological advances are automatically supposed to, enhance our lifestyle, but we don't realize that we are conditioning ourselves to not be responsible. Right? We are stripping away the idea of like making sure, like, when I leave the house, I got a 4-point check. I got my cars, keys, license, lip gloss. Like, I said cars, girl, what?
Cards, I've assumed. Yeah.
Yes. So like, I make sure that I remember those type of things because like that's how I've conditioned myself. But I think we're making it so easy for people to be like, oh, let me just pick up my phone. Mind you, half of y'all can't even keep your phone charged longer than 5%. So it's just like now your phone dead and you really stuck. You
have nothing. You lose your phone and you lose everything. And also I just feel like the way these scams are increasing, like the scammers are top notch, baby. They are graduating from Oxford and all the top schools out there. And so now we're actually making it easier for people to just steal your identity, honey. They just find a way to log into your info, because I'm sure all the people that work in the scam central, they know how to operate that. Maybe they just log into your phone, wired it somehow, and they're gonna have all your information. Like, Absolutely. My
And like,
mom growing up, I'm sure this is like a very Caribbean thing where like my mom never want to give away her social security over
okay.
the phone, like, baby, if my mom is giving you her social security, it gotta be some like
So
real, like this
serious.
the last resort. She not trying to give that for
But I
nothing.
also feel like that's because that's how they were also conditioned growing up,
Right.
like mistrust, like everything. And I feel like
Mhm.
we are so trusting in technology every single day. And I will say Shayla and I are a part of the problem because there's certain things that we do take part in that we are mentioning, right?
Barely though.
No, for real, for
At
real.
least for me, like out of all the technology, I use bare minimum.
Yeah, yeah. Like honestly, I think I kept my Apple wallet on me because of like it's easier and stuff like that. But for me to sit there and say I'm gonna put my passport and all my other information on my phone, mm, yeah, that's not really looking like that, right? But I think we trust things too easily, and this is like I get it. Your wallet could get stolen, and somebody takes your license and stuff like that. But this, your phone get taken. The amount of data your phone stores alone.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times that we see reports about spoofing machines getting taken off at Walmarts and Quick Checks, 7-Elevens. I mean, if y'all got that, if you don't live in
They got something similar, a little
like
shop,
Kroger's or
shop,
something like
whatever.
that. Yeah, like the amount of times that people put those little, scanning devices so they can scam you. Like scams are at all-time high. The amount of scam likely calls I get on a daily, baby. If I was in a relationship, my man would think I was cheating. Like that's how bad it is.
Yeah. And I
Right.
think also like not all convenience is good. Like we are such a convenient society and I get it, right? Like life is hard, convenience, 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 but like
And as someone who hates to be inconvenienced more than the average individual, Shayla will tell you, I will pay extra for
yeah, she
convenience
will.
because I just don't like to be inconvenienced in the slightest, right? But I also think for me, like I've conditioned myself to understand where I can pay extra to be convenienced and where I can allow myself to not, it's not I like not consider this even an inconvenience, consider it a responsibility, right? I feel like you have to think that way. What should I be responsible for? And what can I pay extra for somebody to make the responsibilities a little bit less? Now we're talking about just putting an ID on a phone. And I know in the grander scheme of things, it's probably like, girl, it's
It's
just
not
an
that
ID.
deep.
Right.
Mhm.
It's not that deep. It's not that big. And as someone who's a not that deep type of person, I just think sometimes you gotta think things beyond the scope of what it is, like
Yeah, it's cute in the moment. Like in theory, yes. Obviously, like I know sometimes. Well, not me, because I got my little own 4 point checkpoint before I head out. But like I've had friends like we go to the club and they forgot their license. Like so. Yes, in that sense, it would be great, dandy. But I'm like scams are at an all-time high, and it's just actually making it easier for the scammers. So I'm sure the scammers are very excited about this launch. On to
oh,
the next thing. This is. Oh, no, go
I'll
ahead.
tell you that when we end the show. There was something I thought about that I realized that I saw, and I was just like, oh, y'all could have never got me anyway.
Okay.
What's the
So
next?
the next topic is something that is not trending at all whatsoever, but I saw this report and I was like, let's talk about it because I'm 28. How old are you, Rebecca?
I'm 27.
Oh, okay, girl, with that little voice. We're approaching the 30s. And I think I've expressed how I want to be a mom, right? Like this is not for everybody. It's like if you don't want to be a mom, then that's also cool. But Rebecca also would like to be a mother. She's more open to like adoption and all of that jazz. But I saw this report about freezing your eggs, and I was like, I wonder if Rebecca would ever do it. Because if you didn't know, women do in fact have I don't
Biological.
want to say a ticking time bomb, but kind of sort of when it comes to having kids, right? So this is from the Today article. And then I'm going to play a clip from the report that I saw that triggered me wanting to talk about it here today. So, although getting pregnant can be difficult at any age, for women, the quote, best reproductive years are the 20s. According to the American Society for Reproductive Medicine, fertility then starts to decline in the 30s, especially after age 35. The average 30-year-old woman without fertility issues has a 20% chance of getting pregnant in a given cycle, compared to less than 5% at 40, the organization notes. So as we express our years, 28, 27, we are approaching the 30s and we are on the so I want to share with you guys. This is a story from the Today Show where they amplify this 25-year-old girl who froze her eggs. 25, a really early age, she decided to freeze her eggs. So let's watch this clip and then we'll talk about it after.
Hi, I'm Shania and I am freezing my eggs and I'm 25 years old.
Shania Bopa documented everything about her egg freezing journey, from that first shot of hormones,
I don't know if I can do this,
to the final one at the Toronto Maple Leafs game. Her videos, her age, catching a lot of attention.
How many people watch this? Over 10 million views. So quite a few.
So why 25 instead of 28, 29, 30?
The main reason is A, my insurance was covering the medication costs, and B, this is the youngest my eggs and the best quality they'll ever be in my life. And if I know this is something I want for future me, why not do it now?
Egg freezing allows a woman to preserve her fertility, her eggs, and it's becoming a more common work perk. In 2022, some 16% of large employers offered coverage for the procedure, according to benefits consultant Mercer. Now, physicians like Dr. Brooke Wirtz at NYU Langone are seeing younger women walk through the door.
Is this something you're actually seeing here at this clinic?
Yeah, absolutely. When we first rolled out egg freezing, the percentage of patients under 30 that were coming in were about 1%. And now we're about 10% of our patients are coming in. And the amount of egg freezing we're doing is...
So my first question is, have you ever thought about that concept of oh my God, my highest fertility years are, I'm almost about to get off that train. Do you ever think about that?
I think for me, I have a different mindset because I found out from I want to say, how old are you when you're a junior? Whatever, a junior in high school. I found out when I was in junior in high school that I had PCOS. So if you know about PCOS, not to say that everyone who has PCOS is going to go through that, but when it comes to having a child, there could be some complications or some difficulties. So I think for me, it was never a thought process that I had about freezing my eggs or anything like that, because I already had in my mind that because I have PCOS, I could potentially, I haven't been trying to have no kids at all. So, I could potentially have problems having a child. So it was never something I need to freeze my eggs because of this, that, and the third. So for me, it was never really a thought process. But I could, if somebody who is doesn't have that diagnosis and chilling, living life, and you want to freeze your eggs, I could see why that could be something that could entertain
you would want to do. Yeah, I think for me, I have always said I want to have kids. I want to have kids. And it's I know there are several other options or ways to have kids. You can adopt IVF and all of these things. As technology grows, the options, also grow. But in that same breath, fertility, anything relating to fertility is extremely expensive. And so the way these men operate, how we went through the whole Capri Sun type of vibe, it is so honestly, and this is real raw type of take, is the main reason why I focus so much on dating, and I'm not even focused a lot, but I try to give people chances, is because I know that I want to have kids and I am 28, but it's these men are crazy out here. So it's I feel I got to freeze my eggs because it's not looking like my man is going to arrive any of these years. So it's
the way these people popping out kids it's Skittles, you would think we got all the best options in the world, honestly.
Maybe talking about this is has nothing to do with it. We haven't talked about it, but Cardi B already gave birth to her child and she was already outside. So congratulations to Cardi B, fourth child.
I sent it to Shayla and I said, Shayla was like, hold up. I said, okay, I need to make sure I wasn't tripping because I'm that stomach flat.
Hello, okay. Girl, she did not play when she said faja on immediately after.
Okay, and when I saw that, the second thought I had was confuse thy enemy. Okay, because also if you are a Thursday night football girl, we were watching the Jets and the Patriots, and Stephon Diggs plays for the Patriots. So it's just like, I was just like, okay, hold on. Okay, they said we going back to work. We got kids to feed.
Oh, he that's not his only child, so he got to get to working. So just to conclude this fertility talk, I think the idea of freezing eggs sounds very like intriguing, but in the same breath, like this girl that they highlighted on the Today Show, she said that her insurance paid for it. And as we've discussed, a lot of the health insurance in America are trash and um they don't pay for that. So I feel like the only way I would actually execute and like freeze my eggs at my age is if I had like really good health insurance that would pay for it, because a lot of these procedures are expensive. Like you gotta pay, it's like a storage unit for your eggs, like thousands of dollars a year or monthly. And it's like, when we out here just trying to survive, I don't know if I could just spare those thousands of dollars in hopes, because that's another thing. You freeze your eggs, but it doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, them kids is there for life.
And also, I know some people who, who are currently in like their 40s who freeze their eggs when they were in their 30s, because, they knew that the childbearing years, the
word that declining.
Exactly. And like, I know that they still want to have kids, even though they are in their 40s, and, they do have their eggs frozen and stuff like that. So like, I do get it as an option when you are trying to plan for the future. And if children are something that you really, really want, then like I could see how this could be an option. But to your point, Shayla, like financially, that it's expensive.
Like, and then it's like nothing is guaranteed. You freeze it, and then it's like
some eggs might take and some eggs might not.
And also, it's just like your body still has to, like the egg could be good, but once you put it in you, it's like there's just so much things that are involved with it. But I feel like, as women, if you do want to have kids, it's something that I feel like, especially now, the women of our generation are more like independent and focusing on work and careers. And so we are having kids at a later time in our lives. And so things like egg freezing is continuing to be like the new norm. But I'm like, baby, that's above my budget at the moment. But maybe
that's
one day.
My pay grade.
No, literally. But anyways, let's move over to our sports corner.
Sports?
What you mean? Oh, we have another topic. Never mind.
Girl, Shayla, you okay? So the next thing that we're going to talk about, and if you know, I've talked about her on this podcast before, my girl Kayla Nicole. It's crazy because I definitely mentioned her last week, and now here we are, right? Shayla, that's when you mentioned Nicki and Cardi, and then the next week,
news broke, honey.
We need to stop talking about people. So Kayla Nicole issued a public apology after old offensive posts from her ex account resurfaced online. The post, shared between 2010 and 2014, included homophobic slurs and derogatory remarks about several ethnic groups. In a statement posted to Instagram, she said that she was ashamed of the ignorant and hurtful comments, emphasizing that they do not reflect who she is today. She acknowledged the harm her words may have caused, explaining that her experiences with online harassment have shown her how damaging hateful language can be, and confirmed that she has deleted both the post and her entire X account. Kayla said that she hopes to move forward by demonstrating empathy, respect, and personal growth through her actions. So I just wanted to show you guys the old tweets. So this is just some of them. As you can see, they get a little crazy. Some of them are a little crazy. Because I couldn't really see, because your girl don't got glasses, but I did screenshot them. So I'm just going to read one of them. She said, I'm going to need Black people to stop trying to pull the Black card all the time and modernize themselves to all the available opportunities today. She also said, I could hear this Indian girl praying and chanting through the wall. She got 5 more minutes, and I'm going to let her know that Buddha isn't real. Shaking my head. Right. She also said, I love gay people, but not enough to be my own child. Lo siento. She also said George Bush got more balls than Obama.
What's her nationality? Is she just fully Black?
I believe she's just Black. But then she also had posted, this is the last one I'm gonna read. She said, #I confess. A taken man is more attractive than a single one. I don't know, something about the competition, shaking my head, right? So these are just some of the old tweets that have resurfaced. And I just want to also mention the reason why that these messages have resurfaced is because
Her Swifties.
Yes, the Swifties, baby. So after Halloween, I mentioned last week's episode, she had did like she did her own recreation of a Toni Braxton song, copying the song, doing the dance moves, and it went viral. Basically, everybody was like, she ate that down. People thought the lyrics were shading Taylor Swift, and the people who ride and die for that girl, they said, oh, you thought you could be funny. Let me show you some, right? So they went through her old post and basically these resurfaced and people were like, this you, right? So after that, she issued an apology on her Instagram story where she basically said, I want to take a moment to sincerely apologize for the hurtful tweets I posted so many years ago. Seeing them resurface last week has been incredibly difficult, and reading them now, I'm ashamed that I ever thought or spoke that way. They were ignorant, hurtful, and completely wrong. The woman I am today would never use those words or express those kinds of views. Over the years, I've seen firsthand how cruel and harmful online hate can be, and I can never want to add to that world of pain in any form. I have since deleted those tweets and my ex account entirely because I refuse to keep that energy alive or contribute to a cycle of hate. I take full responsibility for what I posted, and I'm truly sorry to anyone that I may have hurt. My heart value and perspective are completely rooted in empathy, love, and respect for others. I can't change the past, but I will continue showing through my actions who I've become and what I stand for today, right? So it kind of leaded me to this question, right? I feel like over the years, we always see that, things resurface for certain people and people are like, this is who you used to be, this, that, and the third. I will never sit here and lie and act like there aren't certain things that I used to post on social media that if I was to post that today, I would look like, if I saw that today, I would look at me sideways. I remember when I started really taking my professional standpoint on like, I want myself to look like this, especially when you do enter the job market. They do a thorough background on things that you posted. Does it fit with the your values and the way you see things align with the company, right? And so when I did start thinking like that, I remember going through my old Twitter, my Twitter account, and deleting a lot of things like where I would curse or where I was just using certain words and things like that. And I deleted that because I'm like, that's not how I want to be represented, one. And two, I don't think or act like that anymore. And that's something I think a lot of us need to acknowledge, that especially when we're younger, we have these certain ideals and being ignorant and not understanding like the harmful ways that our words can actually impact others even could be perceived, right? So do you feel like when these things do resurface and people's old thoughts and everything that they posted on social media come up, do you think that there should be some type of grace given to them? Because again, who we used to be and the way we used to think isn't who we currently are now.
I 1,000% think so, because like you said, I too, right? Like growing up, again, I'm from Patterson. Okay. Well, if you don't know what Patterson is, like if I live in a real urban area in Jersey, right? So sometimes like where you're raised, you only know what you know in your area, right? Like growing up, I did not know that saying the N-word was like, oh, only Black people could say it, because everybody around me used it and it was seen like as normal, right? When it comes to, saying pause or like things like that, I didn't know that, if you are a part of the gay community, that's seen as like disrespectful, right? It wasn't until literally it was an NBA player that said pause during a live interview and he got fined for that. And at this big age, I did not know, because again, I was raised in an environment where like, I don't want to say it's normal, but like it was seen as like normal. So, but in that same breath, I do understand that like just because you weren't privy to it or you weren't informed about it doesn't make it right. So I think if you sit here as like, they definitely exposed her to get back at her for what Taylor Swift fans felt like, oh, you thought you had one up on us, we're gonna come back with exactly. And they definitely did shoot back. They said, baby, we went toe for toe.
Nah, girl, this wasn't even toe for toe. This was like,
well, yes, they elevated. They one up
the body.
Yes. So it's like, do they deserve grace? I think so, because I think we all can say, when I was younger, I said and did things that now at this age I would never do, or I learned, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. Point blank period. Also, like, where you're raised, your community, like, there's just certain standards and lingos and things that might be good in your town, but then as you grow older and you are exposed to different things, you learn, like, oh no, this is not okay. People shouldn't say this. You know what I mean? Like, some people are raised in areas that are not diverse, right? And so they have their own perspective and way of life, and they think that that's right. And others are only around people that are of color, right? Minorities. So we all think that, like, oh yeah, we could all say this and do this. And so it's not until you touch grass and explore life that you learn from those things. I do think that you still got to get clocked, right? Because that's just a part of life. And when you are a public figure, that comes with it. You have to, you got to be exposed. I feel like all high celebrities have gotten exposed.
Yeah, and I also just want to mention, like, those tweets that I showed, those aren't even just some of the worst ones. She also talked about, like, Vanessa Bryant's wife and things like that. And
Vanessa Bryant's wife?
No, not wife. Kobe Bryant's wife.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
Girl,
okay.
So sorry. Clocked me. Okay.
No, I was just like, huh?
No, but nah. So, like, yeah, she had mentioned something about Kobe's wife, and like everybody was like, hold up. Like, from what I remember reading, I was like, yikes, that's a little crazy. I think for me, and I like to clock myself on this, I do believe offering people grace. I think also it depends on who it is for me sometimes, because, and like, it's not fair. It's like,
I was just gonna say, if we say grace, we can pick and choose who gets the grace.
Exactly. And I think that's where it's a problem for me, because when I like somebody, you'll be more lenient in like the excuses that you make for them, right? Mm-hmm. And because for me, I like Kayla Nicole, like because I know, what she's done in her role as a sports journalist and everything like that. When I was doing my research on like the type of journalist I wanted to be, that's when I discovered Kayla Nicole. And because I discovered her through that, that's when I realized she was dating Travis Kelce. And then that's when I became a Chiefs fan. So like, I connect a lot of things to like her. So like for me, because I like her, I think for me, I'm like, yes, like she should 1,000% be offered grace. Right. But then also in that same breath, I clock myself because I couldn't give that same grace to Doja Cat. Right. I don't know if you remember when Doja Cat was exposed for like the videos that she did when she was on Omegle, and she was like telling people to call her like an NB, like, and she ended the end with like a hard ER. And like, I was like, this girl is a weirdo, like this, that, and the third. And obviously she's done other things that I think classify her as a weirdo, as to why, like, I just don't even associate with her for that. But like, I remember for so long, I'd be like, did y'all never saw that Omegle clip? Like, or was it Uvu? It was one of the things. Right. And like, I was like, yeah, she a weirdo for that. And I would like clock her for that. And I'm like, no, I gotta clock everybody. Like, I can't just pick and choose when I should selectively like be like, oh, she deserves grace and then somebody else doesn't. And I am grown enough and I am aware enough to know that I gotta clock myself for that. So for that, I will say, Kayla, you were wrong.
Yeah, 1,000%.
1,000%. Am I glad that you sat there and you issued an apology and you tried to rectify it? But again, like we mentioned earlier, just because you delete stuff doesn't mean that it's not.
I don't know about rectifying, but I guess there's also like, but so much you could do. You can't, like, you said it, the tweets are there, and it wasn't like a one-off thing. Like, you had a packet of really out-of-pocket things. So all you can do is just say sorry and keep, because what else are you supposed to do?
Like, what else can you do? So I think for me, like, to the grander point of the conversation, yes, do I feel like people deserve grace? yes, especially when it comes to old mindsets that we all don't have. And if you sit here and you try to claim, no, that's not like right, the fact that she thought like that, if you sit here and think that the same way you used to think when you were 16 is the same way you think now, first off, seek help, because you have not developed as an individual. And two, is not realistic. Realistically, the way we used to think, the way we used to act is never going to be the same as who we used to be. Like, it's not realistic for you to think that way. So I think grace definitely needs to be offered. But again, as Shayla said, you got to clock them.
Yeah. And also to the same breath is like, I don't think like if you are a part of the community, right? Like if I'm Vanessa Bryant, I don't think that you need to give this person grace, right? Like I feel like if I'm a part of the community and I felt offended by it, then you 1,000%, you don't gotta give grace to nobody. I ain't like what you said, point blank, period. Right. And that's that on that.
You don't never gotta talk.
So it's just like, it's more so like, if you want to, you can, but I'm not expecting someone that got, was hit by one of those tweets to like, oh, okay, you said you're sorry, so everything is great now because you're older now and you have a better mindset. No, if I felt offended by what you said, that's just that on that, and you have a right to feel that way.
I remember when we talked about like Cardi B and the plus size comments, like the people who are a part of these communities, they are not a monolith. So just because I'm not offended and I'm not hurt by something that she said does not mean somebody who is a part of that community or is impacted by that tweet because it was directed directly to you does not mean that you should not be offended or like even care that you talk about you moving with empathy now. Like, girl, I don't care. You
said good for you.
Right. Congratulations. Like, I still don't rock with you. I just think that as someone on the outside looking in and someone who isn't really impacted by any of the tweets or anything that she said, I think for me, do I think yes, because mindsets are different, that she deserves some type of grace? Yes. But if you are Indian and you saw that, girl, I won't follow you no more. Okay. But yeah, we're going to our next topic.
Yeah, our good friend Meg Thee Stallion.
Okay, let me tell you. So, if you know, I don't think we really did like an in-depth conversation about this, but I feel like we did it in mentioning that Meg Thee Stallion is currently dating Klay Thompson. And if you know your girl, as a Warriors fan, I was very saddened when the Splash Brothers got broken up, right? So Klay Thompson recently publicly defended his girlfriend, Meg Thee Stallion, after former NBA players Patrick Beverley and Jason Williams made comments suggesting that she negatively impacted his performance this season. On their Hoopin' and Hollering podcast, Jason implied that Klay's relationship might be to blame for his decreased production, using a metaphor that referred to Megan in a disrespectful way. Klay is currently averaging 8.5 points per game and shooting below his usual standard. He responded on Instagram, calling the remarks disgusting and disturbing, and criticized the former players for disrespecting his girlfriend. He questioned how they would feel if someone spoke of their wives in that way. So I just wanted to play the clip for you guys real quick, and then I'll show you guys his response.
Ain't talking about Klay Thompson. Y'all steady trying to get him a pass. I ain't never seen Klay not shoot it like this. And for him to say I'm out of my prime, like, come on, Klay, like, come on.
He said that?
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, he's got a beautiful. Speaking of BBL.
Yeah.
I'm from West Virginia, man. I've been taught a lot by some old white folks. It only takes one pussy to drag a battleship across the desert. That's how powerful it is. So
most wars,
it got something to, you know what I'm saying? Klay Thompson, I ain't saying that's what it is, but that might be what it is.
I ain't saying that's what it is, but that might be what it is. So you're saying that's what it is. Anyway, so then Klay Thompson, he commented on the video and he basically said, referring to my girlfriend as pussy is so disgusting and disturbing, especially from someone who played in the NBA. How would y'all feel if I referred to your wives in such a way? And then he at Pat Beverly saying, do better, fellas. Very disappointing, right? So when I saw this, as a Klay Thompson fan, if you know who Klay is, like he's he's very quiet, he's very subdued, very demure type of man.
Keeps to himself.
Keeps very much to himself. And if you also know Meg Thee Stallion's history, she always gets backlash and people usually talk about her in a negative light, especially when it comes to men, right? I think that as as a whole, you got to look at things in the grander scope. As I mentioned, as a Warriors fan, I was hurt when the Splash Brothers broke up. But I will not sit here and be stupid and act like I don't understand why they were broken up. When Klay was on the Warriors, his numbers were already diminishing. He already was not performing to the best of his ability because realistically, NBA players, you're going to end up decreasing as time goes on. Like that is just, your performance isn't going to be the same performance you once had. There's some people who are lucky enough to have that continuation and have that type of, consistency. And that's great. But not everybody's going to be a Stephen Curry. Not everybody's going to be a LeBron James. Not everybody's going to have that consistency. So his numbers were already diminishing when he was with the Warriors. So when he went to the Mavericks, his numbers were still diminishing because, again, he's not the player he used to be. So for y'all to sit here as grown men, emphasis on grown men, to get on that platform and sit there and try and blame his decrease, his levels not being the same that they used to be. Megan Thee Stallion is like, he talking about some Pat Beverly talk about, I ain't never seen Klay shooting numbers be like,
clearly you haven't been watching the NBA because that's exactly how he got to be with the Dallas Mavericks. If he would have still been shooting in his prime, the Warriors would have never let him go. Like, it's just people that are just like, again, sometimes you think because these people are a part of the league, they would have more common sense, but common sense ain't common all the time. Like, you are just first of all, you got your own wife situation. Like, focus on that. I think for you to sit there and be like, oh, Klay Thompson is not getting enough, whatever. It's so like, sir, what are you talking about? His numbers been down. And I think just because someone has a partner and they're seen happy, they like, if anything, his numbers should be more up because he's happier. You know what I mean? Like, I just think sometimes I would think that because Patrick Beverly has been a part of the league, he would have more grace and understand that the same way you up, you down. Why is Patrick Beverly not in the league right now?
Girl,
it's because his prime has declined.
Mind you, even when he was in his prime, he ain't compared. So it's
okay. So it's like, you more than anyone should understand that nothing is forever in this world, right? There are players that are at their prime, and then when it's decline comes. Sometimes you are shooting, boom, 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 everything is good, and then all of a sudden things don't be good. I don't think that's a reflection of like, oh, Klay Thompson isn't working hard enough anymore, or he doesn't want it, or this, whatever. As athletes, I'm sure you guys understand that the same way you are high, there are lows, and that's just what it is. And again, just because you want to say that, you didn't have to disrespect Meg Thee Stallion to make your point. If that is in fact how you feel, like, oh, Meg Thee Stallion is, being a distraction for Klay, you could have just said that. You did not have to drag Meg's name, her character, whatever, their sexual life, what they got going on in order to get your point across. Like, sometimes it's not even what you say, it's how you say it.
Right. And I just think, for me, like, I love to tell people this. Like, if I said that to you, would you feel some type of way? Because the amount of times men don't play, well, oh, don't disrespect my wife, don't disrespect my mama. But if I sat here and I said, mind you, Pat Bev, you're known for being a pest. Like, that's really what you're known for. Like, you're known for being an annoyance on the field. I said field, the court. Like, you're known for being an annoyance when it comes to being a basketball player. Yes, you may say that your defensive presence, but you are not that anymore. And when you were in the league, you weren't that. The way that people mocked you when you were at the Timberwolves and all y'all did was win that one game, and the way y'all acted as if y'all won the whole entire playoffs, everybody clowns y'all for that.
Also, what if Klay got online and he hopped on a podcast and said, oh, the reason why you out the league is because your wife XYZ the third? You would not like that. Again, it's how you say it. No one should have to disrespect anyone's partner to get their point across. We're not saying don't give your opinion, because here we are opinionating. But I am not disrespecting nobody. I am saying just tread lightly with the words that you say, calling her a pussy or whatever, or what, that's not the way to go about it.
Because like my whole thing is, right, to your point, if Klay did get on a podcast and he has said, mind you, Pat Bev, in my opinion, you was never him when it came to you being in the league. You was never that. And
that's not disrespectful. I feel like that's a valid take.
You know, I just feel like you was never that. So if I sat here and I said, maybe if your mom had put her poom poom on a man with some better D and some better genes, that you could have been him, would that be me being disrespectful? But again, it's how, you know, I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying that's what it could be. You see how that looks? You see how that sounds? It sounds crazy, don't it? Okay, then. Right. So let us get into our sports corner. You got 24 seconds and it's starting right now. You got 24 seconds. So, what was I gonna say? What is our first topic, Shayla?
So the first topic that we're gonna talk about in the sports corner is the Mavericks, talking about the Dallas Mavericks, honey. We'll continue on that theme. The Dallas Mavericks fired general manager Nico Harrison on Tuesday of this week, an admission 9 months later that the widely criticized trade of Luka Doncic backfired on the franchise. The Mavericks appointed Michael Finley and Matt Riccardi as co-interim general managers to oversee basketball operations. So when this news broke about Nico Harrison being fired, honestly, I feel like it took long. Like, I thought it was gonna happen immediately, because if you guys remember when Luka Doncic was traded, baby, that was like, it took me honestly a good 2 weeks to process that, because, and mind you, it's who they got for, like, Luka was the star of, like, the future of the league. The season before had just took them, I remember if it was the finals or to the second round, baby, they was up and popping, right? And they got, I forgot what's the Lakers name. I'm blanking on his name.
Anthony Davis.
Yes, they got Anthony Davis and somebody else for Luka Doncic. And the whole time they were saying it's because, oh, Luka was too fat, his health was not good, da-da-da. Mind you, him and his thickness, honey, carried the Dallas Mavericks. And all the fans were pissed, as they should have. And baby, they were bringing coffins to the Dallas Mavericks stadium. They went all out. Like, they were screaming like, fire Nico, fire Nico. Like, it was, the fans really were on Nico's behind. So I thought, oh, baby, they're going to fire him immediately.
Expeditiously.
Exactly. But no, it took them some time. It finally happened. And I feel like this is something that had to happen. And another news that I saw is that the fact that Anthony Davis is dealing with some sort of like physical situation, debilitation, which we all knew because it's Anthony Davis, right? Like, even when he was in the Lakers, he is great until he is not. So that's what made it so baffling. It's like, you coming for Luka, who is super young, has so much wiggle room and so much like ahead of him, for Anthony Davis that's much older and has already been struggling with injuries. Like, what type of transaction was this happening? So apparently, like, Nico was trying to force Anthony Davis, like, oh no, he good, da-da-da. But in reality, he is dealing with some injuries. And it's just like, in order for the Dallas Mavericks franchise as a whole to be able to move forward from this Luka trade, will they ever really be able to move away from it? I don't think so, because anytime that the Lakers now flourish because of Luka, like, it's gonna be on site as a Dallas Mavericks fan, like, that could have been us type of energy. So it's like, it needed to be done. I was not surprised at all, and good luck to the Mavericks.
I think for me, I think it was very shocking because, like you mentioned, it's like, this is your star player, like the person who you was like, even Luka said, I thought I was gonna be with that team forever, you know? So it's just like, you did all this and look at the results. Mind you, I don't know where in anyone's right mind they thought, like, I get it, some people love Anthony Davis down, and I feel like he was better when he was on the Pelicans versus wherever he ended up at now, right? But the problem with him is he's always been injury prone. That man can never have a consistent season where he is not injured. So for y'all to think that y'all were getting a better deal out of him Then y'all had with Luka. Mind you, weight or not, that boy was balling out to the point where I didn't like him when he would play my teams because I'm like, why are you shooting like this? We got a problem.
Yes, I like Luka, and I think also it's like for them to put all of this like smears. Oh, it's because he's like he needs to lose weight. It's like, please miss me with all of that. We're talking about the NBA. Y'all got all the resources. Like, what? And that's why I really do think that Nico has some sort of inside game with the Lakers and he really wanted them to flourish because ain't no way you thought that was okay. Like, what?
Yeah. And I think also when it comes to like this whole topic about his weight, like everybody has this conversation about Zion Williamson too. And I feel like he's just as injury prone. So it's just like, I feel like people give him more grace and like the way that they keep him on the team. Mind you, this man be injured half the time. They always talk about his weight and he's still in and out of coochie every day having another kid with a different porn star. So
at least Luka on the field, like you say, on the court.
Right.
Luka was on the court. He was always showing up for his team. So it's just like
it's just like I don't know. Like I'm surprised it really took them this long, mind you. Every game the Mavs had, it was fire. Nico. Fire Nico. This man got death threats. All this. Honestly, I would have let myself go.
Right, please. I mean, you must have known this was coming though. Like I think also the shocking factor is like usually when a trade is gonna happen, there's like 1,000 rumors before it actually happens. But this was like not undercover nighttime, like, oh my God, what just happened?
Even like with his like the firing, I remember I saw Shams posted it on like Instagram. He was like, well, at 10 o'clock today they firing Nico. I'm like, so they told you? I was like, this is crazy. But I'm again to our point, I'm not surprised. And another thing that I'm not surprised at, as you know, Rebecca is a Giants fan. Yes, I mentioned the Chiefs. I'm a part-time fan for them, but I'm a full-time Giants fan. Okay. So the New York Giants fired their head coach, Brian Daboll, after nearly 4 seasons during which he recorded a 20-40 season, right? Well, 20-40 record through his 4 years there and 1 playoff appearance. While poor performances was the main issue, several internal concerns accelerated his dismissal. According to reporting, the front office believed that the Giants' 2-8 start did not match the roster's talent and felt Daboll's staff failed to maximize players, highlighting by star Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones thriving elsewhere. Daboll's emotional outbursts also became a problem, including incidents involving medical staff and offensive coordinator Mike Kafka. I believe that's how you name. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sources further cited inconsistent decision-making, too much focus on outside criticism, and despite Daboll strongly advocating for draft rookie quarterback Jackson Dart, it wasn't enough to save his job. Now, also, let me show y'all what Nico looked like. I forgot to show y'all earlier. That's Nico. That's the one they let go from the Mavs. Y'all see him? Yeah. And now this is Brian Daboll, okay? And that's the Giants head coach at the time. Well, he was the Giants head coach. As a fan, let me say this. I got many thoughts, but real quick thoughts. I am not surprised by this. Honestly, they should have let him go last season. I saw everything I needed to see last season. I already knew that he wasn't the right person for this team. I've been knew that. People were buying helicopters or planes or whatever with the
banners.
Yes, that's that. Fire. They were saying fire the GM, fire the head coach. The fans was sick of this man. They've been saying he wasn't the man for the team. So when I saw this firing, I was surprised because I had just left the house. Like when the news came out, I had just left the house. I got to work in 15 minutes. In the span of that 15 minutes and me leaving my house, that's when the firing happened. I was surprised because I was like, what?
Like, what was the last straw type
thing? What was the last straw for y'all? And I was also saying, I'm like, y'all put the head coach for the Giants on that unemployment slip. What is stopping y'all from also doing it to the GM? I will never, ever I can never not think about this. The fact that y'all refused to pay Saquon Barkley what he was owed and what he was needed. The same year y'all let him go, this man goes to the Eagles and wins a Super Bowl championship.
That's how you get people back, honey.
As a Giants fan, I will forever be sick. Because it's just like, y'all don't make good. You're questioning the former head coach's decision making. But as a GM, your decision making is just as bad. So the fact that y'all not adding your name to the pink slip as well.
Yeah, and I think also it's like a coach can only do but so much with the players that they have, right? Like I think a manager's position is extremely important, right? Because they are the ones that are helping bring the players, right? Help bring the franchise what they need in order to flourish and get things done. So it's like, if y'all not giving me or paying the players that I need in order to successfully, build the game plan and do this and create plays, and it's like, it's only but so much I can do. And then my other point to that is like, I feel like unless you already have a head coach you already have in mind, firing someone in the middle of the season is like, what, like, at least to me, it's like, unless I already know this is the person that I want to replace you with, firing the head coach in the middle of the season, in my opinion, is not going to make anything better. Because it's like, okay, now you're going to scramble to find somebody. And then it's like, you don't have a lot of time to be interviewing and doing this, that, the third. So I hope that they already have someone in mind, and it'll be like no, we already spoke to this person. We already made sure that this is the person we want for the future of our franchise. And it's like on day one, we're replacing. But if it's like, now we're going to start looking for people, it's like, baby, time is ticking.
Well, like as of right now, the offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka, I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but I feel like I'm saying it right at the same time. He's going to be the one stepping up as the interim head coach. And like, I just want to say this also, as a Giants fan, I would be wrong to not sit here and admit, like, the Giants are doing exactly what they're supposed to do, which is disappoint me half the time.
They're not going nowhere anyways.
Right. I'm sticking right beside them. Right. Like I like pain. I like disappointment. Clearly, I'm a masochista. Like, what can I say? Right. So I think for me, the problem is we need to clear house from the top to the bottom. Like when I say I need medical staff gone, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, GM, head coach, assistant coach, I need everybody gone. White, clean slate. Everybody need to be out. I'm so sorry. Even the chef of the team need to go. I need
the chef got nothing doing nothing. That's crazy.
Everybody, house clean. I don't know if it's house cleaning, spring cleaning, winter cleaning. I don't know what it is. Everybody needs to be given a pink slip today. I need everybody to start from the bottom up, because it's not working. And, I remember when I was so excited because I'm like, Russell Wilson is coming to the Giants. I was like, they need that veteran presence, this, that, and the third. And this man was on his back more than a $2 hooker. Like, I never.
Girl, all them preseason wins was just all a facade.
I was just like, oh my God.
Not funny, but them preseason games, honey.
And like, I don't like to, listen, I'm woman enough to admit when I'm wrong, but I hate the taste of it. And I'm so upset that he has not shown me anything that like proves the points that I was giving. And then you got Jackson Dart. Is it Jackson? Yeah, Jackson Dart. He's currently in concussion protocol right now. So now y'all down for 2 because they definitely not. When he went down in the game, mind you. Oh, this is another stat I wanted to show y'all. It's like every time the Giants had a lead and were able to win, they 0-4. Look at this. Like at one point they were 37-34, lost. 14-3, lost. The one with the game that recently just passed with the Chicago Bears, is like they were 20-6.
And I think that's a very important thing, especially if you're trying to win the Super Bowl. Sometimes it just comes down to, can you close a game? If you cannot do that, you are not winning a Super Bowl. Point blank period.
They are 0-4 every time they had a lead is crazy. And I get it, Scatterboo, he got injured and whatever like that. But it's like still the fact that y'all can have the lead and you can't hold on and grasp onto it is the problem that we consistently have. The amount of time fans is going, as a Giants fan, I get a little crazy. I'm like, how we about to win? I close my eyes, blink, look down, look up, gone. Game lost. I'm like,
you know the phrase I always tell you, el que ríe de último ríe mejor. The person that laughs last laughs the best. Until it's 0 on that clock, I'm still on like my little toes. I don't know.
But anyway, all in all to say, people was given the pink slips. Did Nico deserve a pink slip? Absolutely. Did the head coach for the Giants deserve a pink slip? Absolutely. Do I feel like more pink slips need to be handed out? Absolutely. I need you to get a diary. There's not enough slips. Just write it in a notebook at this point.
We got the slips coming. Let me know who you want. We'll start writing it today. Pink slip for you. We Oprah.
Okay, you get a pink slip. Everybody.
But then the nice shade me is like, I don't want to take no one's job either.
Just listen. The government not shut down no more. You could get some benefits somewhere.
Girl,
okay?
Goodbye. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you. We appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. And comment a football and basketball emoji if you made it this far into the podcast episode. Thank you guys so much for supporting us. We appreciate it. Follow us on all our other social media platforms at toomuchsbpodcast, and we will see you guys next Friday.
Bye.